Hello, my name is Reverend Dr. May Elise Cannon. Today is Saturday, December 16th. This is day 71 since the attacks by Hamas on October 7th. I'm the Executive Director of Churches for Middle East Peace, and I mentioned in my update yesterday that I just had a conversation with a bishop from the Latin Patriarchate in Jerusalem, and that we were praying and in conversation about those who were taking refuge in the Latin Catholic Church in Gaza. And upon waking up this morning, we received news that the Latin Church had been surrounded by the Israeli military. And I wanted to read to you today a report from His Beatitude Cardinal Pizzaballa, who is the Patriarch of the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem, who told the situation that's happening in the Catholic Church in Gaza. Around noon today, this was noon Jerusalem time, December 16th, a sniper of the Israeli Defense Forces murdered 2 Christian women inside the Holy Family Parish in Gaza, where the majority of Christian families had taken refuge since the start of the war. Nadia and her daughter Samar were shot and killed as they walked to the sisters' convent. One was killed as she tried to carry the other to safety. 7 more people were shot and wounded as they tried to protect others inside the church compound. No warning was given, no notification provided. They were shot in cold blood inside the premises of the parish. They were no belligerents. Earlier in the morning, a rocket fired from an Israeli Defense Forces tank had targeted the convent of the Sisters of the Mother of Teresa, the Missionaries of Charity. The convent is home to more than 54 disabled persons and is a part of the church compound, which was signaled as a place of worship since the beginning of war. The building's generator, the only source of electricity, and the fuel resources were destroyed. The house was damaged by the resulting explosion and a massive fire. 2 more rockets fired by an Israeli Defense Forces tank targeted the same convent and rendered the home uninhabitable. The 54 disabled persons are currently displaced and without access to the respirators that some of them need to actually survive. In addition, as a result of the heavy bombing in the area, 3 people were wounded inside the church compound last night. Furthermore, solar panels and water tanks, which are indispensable for the very survival of the community, were destroyed. Together in prayer with the whole Christian community, we express our closeness and condolences to the families affected by this senseless tragedy. At the same time, we cannot but express that we are at a loss as to comprehend how such an attack could be carried out, even more so when the whole church prepares for Christmas. The Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem follows this developing situation with great concern and shall provide additional information as needed. We at Churches for Middle East Peace would call on you to contact your members of Congress, to call for a ceasefire, to call on the devastating impact of the bombing campaign and the ground incursion of the Israeli Defense Forces in South Gaza on the Christian community that began at about 1,000 people. We already know more than 20 people have been killed. And just in the last couple of days, more Christians are being killed, in addition to the devastating effects on civilians. Call for a ceasefire. Contact your members of Congress. We're continuing to pray for peace. We're calling on the White House. We're calling on President Biden. This is an atrocity that there are no words. And so we wanted to let you know right away that this was happening. We wanted to let you know the words of the Cardinal, the Patriarch of Jerusalem, the Latin Patriarch of the Catholic Church. We wanted to let you know what's happening with those who've been taking refuge in the Catholic Church in Gaza. Continue to pray for them, continue to call for a ceasefire, and to call for an end to these horrific, horrific attacks.